Good morning. Welcome to the July 20th, 2023 meeting of the Arts and Culture Commission. And roll call, please.
Vice Chair Tefenkian. Vidor.
Here.
Yank.
Here.
And Chairperson Vyar. And Commissioner Zadorian is absent. Agenda item 1, regular business agenda, report of the recorder. The agenda for the July 20th, 2023 regular meeting of the Glendale Arts and Culture Commission was posted on July 13th, 2023 on the bulletin board outside City Hall. Agenda item 2, consent items, minutes of the May 18th, 2023 regular Arts and Culture Commission meeting.
We have only this one item on the consent calendar. Are there any comments, corrections? If not, may I have a motion then to approve the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes as is.
Second.
Thank you.
Roll call, Vice Chair Tefenkian.
I was absent at the last meeting, however, I did watch it, so it's okay to, yes.
Okay. Commissioner Vidor,
Yes.
Commissioner Yank,
Yes.
and Chairperson Vyar.
Yes.
Okay, agenda item 3, introductions and presentations, library arts and culture events presented by Loretta Lopez, program coordinator. So, Children's Summer Reading Challenge, children ages 0 through 8th grade can sign up for the Children's Summer Reading Challenge 2023 on the Beanstack app through August 12th to earn free books by reading and doing fun activities. Need help signing up? Just visit your neighborhood branch during open hours and a staff member will be happy to help. For more information, please visit the link on the screen. Brand Summer Music Series, looking for a fun time with the family? The Brand Summer Music Series is an outdoor concert series located at the Brand Library and Arts Center. Concert attendees are encouraged to bring their own chairs and picnic amenities and sit on the grassy hill. Concerts take place on Fridays at 7 p.m. in July and August. Upcoming concerts are featuring Greg Hosharian and the Meridian Pops Ensemble, Lizzie and the Triggermen, Megan Shung Ensemble, and Murphy's Flaw. For more information, please visit the link on the screen. On Saturday, July 22nd at 11 a.m., join GLAC to experience live poetry with the City of Glendale's Poet Laureate, Rafi Joe Watanian. The City of Glendale Poet Laureate program presents a poetry workshop and reading featuring Lynn Thompson, Los Angeles Poet Laureate, and Linda Ravenswood, the Los Angeles Press. For more information, please visit the link on the screen. GLAC invites you to join a series of virtual author talks in partnership with the Library Speakers Consortium. On Tuesday, July 25th at 1 p.m., join us as we chat with award-winning writer Erica Sanchez about her utterly original, moving, and disarmingly funny memoir and essays, Crying in the Bathroom. For more information on these programs, please visit the link on the screen. The Glendale Arts and Culture Commission is accepting proposals from qualified candidates who would like to participate in its Beyond the Box Utility Box Art program. The theme of this year's Beyond the Box program is celebrating inclusion, which aims to embrace all people regardless of race, gender, ability, and background. Celebrating inclusion encourages us to implement the diverse perspectives, talents, and contributions of those around us to create a thriving public life. In doing so, this year's theme intends to uplift and strengthen the voices of Glendale's diverse community. Artists will be awarded a $1,000 stipend to prime and paint their specific utility box from October 16th through 22nd, 2023. For more information, please visit the link on the screen. The Brand Associates present the Brand 51 Works on Paper exhibit, which is now on display at Brand Library and Arts Center through September 1st, 2023. This year, 98 artworks are featured, which include an amazing variety chosen by juror Ara Oshagon from among 1,222 entries across the nation. Our own Commissioner Vidor has a piece chosen for this exhibit, and Commissioner Vidor has been chosen to display her artwork for the 3rd time in a row as part of the Works on Paper exhibit. For more information, please visit the link on the screen.
Thank you, Loretta.
Agenda item 4, oral communications, there are none. And agenda item 5, written communications, there are none. So agenda item 6, action items. A, mural ordinance and program, community meeting and program strategy. Motion approving the Director of Library Arts and Culture to enter into a professional services agreement in an amount not to exceed $5,050 from the 2023 to 2024 work plan with Beautify Earth, a creative services consultant, to 1, review the draft mural ordinance and policies and procedures and provide feedback, 2, host a community meeting on the mural ordinance, and 3, work with GLAC staff and Arts and Culture Commission to define strategy and best approaches for the mural program processes and execution.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jennifer Fukutomi Jones, Principal Arts and Culture Administrator. As you all know, we've been on this journey for our mural ordinance for quite some time, so we're almost at the finish line, and we wanted to provide some background context for this particular agenda item. So in April of 2021, as the Commission knows, we did hire Sarah Odenkirk, who's a public art ordinance consultant, to help us draft and prepare an initial review of the mural ordinance. So the staff has been diligently working on that for quite some time throughout 2021. And in November of 2021, we did host a community input meeting specifically in regard to feedback on murals and public art within the city. We had about 10 people attend that meeting online, which we thought was very successful. And then from January to October of 2022, we've been continuing to work with Ms. Odenkirk, and we're just at the finish line of preparing a draft ordinance for your review, specifically regarding the murals. Moving forward, we have had the opportunity to work with a Coro Southern California fellow, Sam Solemnidad, who worked with us and specifically regarded to her focus of her work was feedback on the mural ordinance, and talked to several artists, and also met with an organization called Beautify Earth. So Beautify Earth, as we mentioned in this proposal and the staff report, is a creative services consultant who specifically works with artists and muralists throughout several cities, Santa Monica being most prominent, and also Austin, several cities throughout the nation, to bring murals to their cities. And so we had a meeting with Beautifier Earth in March of 2023, which we thought was very successful, specifically regarding their services to assist us in hosting a community input meeting, which we'd like to do in person, inviting several artists and community members to gain their feedback, facilitating that community input meeting will be a large part of their work, and then also their feedback and guidance on establishing a mural program for the city of Glendale. So they did include a proposal, which is Exhibit A for your review, but staff is recommending to hire Beautify Earth to facilitate this community meeting and provide input on establishment of a mural program.
Good. Is there any discussion and comments?
Yeah, I was just curious about the kind of goals of the community meeting. Just, you mentioned they'd be inviting a few artists and community members. I was wondering, like, how broad is that input meeting meant to be, or is it sort of more of a focus group to get thoughts?
That's a great question. I think our intention is to definitely invite our slate of artists that have worked with us through Beyond the Box, and artists that we've worked with just generally throughout the city. And then they also have a large network of artists themselves. So really trying to get artist feedback, specifically on the mural ordinance itself and the policies and procedures, and if it's transparent and understandable to the common artists who will be applying to this opportunity.
Okay. Commissioner Vidor?
It sounds like a good idea. I'm curious about, does Beautify Earth do they function kind of like Bow, with that they have a stable of artists? Because I think one of the things we really need to do, and maybe we can go very wide with publicity on this, is, get a lot of people engaged in, or at least put them on notice that we're in the mural business. And so we get, the top muralists and the ones who really, and nothing against Beyond the Box, but who think outside the box and mural outside the box. And so what would be the approach to announcing ourselves? Would they be involved in that, and how would they go about it? I'm talking about, like, internationally.
Yeah, absolutely. I think their services are great in that sense. So they do have artists that they work with. Their website has a whole list of artists and mural locations of people that they've worked with. I think what we would really love their help with is exactly that, making sure that the launch of our mural program is successful, that we're engaging the top muralists within the Southern California and national region to apply for our calls. So I think that's really the intention of working with them, because they have those connections.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Vice Chair DeFinkin, did you have any questions or comments?
Yes, so first of all, I wanted to thank Ms. Odenkirk for putting together all this. And I did check out the Beautify Earth website. And so the artists, let's say if we had an artist, they would have to enroll with Beautify Earth first and then be commissioned, or how would that work?
No, so the artists are, what we would recommend is to have our own, like Commissioner Vidor had mentioned, our own slate of artists that are on our pre-qualified artist list. Artists that work with Beautify Work are totally up to their own volition. They work with private and public works, so they would not have to engage with Beautify Earth at all to join our mural program.
Madam Chair, Gary Schaefer, Director of Library Arts and Culture. So that is a service that Beautify Earth offers, and municipalities do hire them to do that. We're not really looking at that. We decided to use them mostly for their consulting services to help us with the successful launch of the program.
Okay, because I know when I looked on, there's also a place for host walls or host property owners who might be willing to have their wall given up for a painting, for a mural, to apply there as well.
They do have
So-
that option, but like Director Schaefer said, we're mainly working with them for their consulting services to
And
launch.
how
the
would
mural
we
program.
go about finding these host walls?
We can definitely have that conversation with Beautify Earth and their strategies of how they've done that in the past with different cities and municipalities.
Yeah, that is something that that is one of the reasons also to engage them, is to kind of help us with our process and all of that. But we weren't necessarily looking to use them to run our mural program.
Okay, and then also, would they also be looking at, or would the mural program also outline what the issues with more murals will be, the conservation of it, the upkeep, maintenance, and all that?
Yeah,
That would all be in there.
absolutely. Yeah, I think that's definitely part of our conversation with the community, but also when we get into the strategy and vision of the mural program, those are things that they're going to recommend, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And I thought I noticed in the proposal anyway, that they would be helpful in identifying sites for murals, potential sites, but I think that a really big value to their services would be moderating the community meetings that can sometimes be more directed to staff. I think it keeps it more neutral and would be a good thing. Okay. So,
One more tiny question. So everybody alluded to this. For private walls, is the plan with the public outreach to really engage the business community too, especially the downtown merchants and the different business focal areas all over the city, as well as owners of large buildings?
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially when we're establishing the mural program, part of their strategy is to talk to the DGA and to different organizations that represent businesses in Glendale to have that feedback of private interest in murals on walls.
And also to have them at those meetings. Like, it's open to anyone to attend. You don't have to be an artist to attend. We would love to hear from people who, want to put murals up, are interested in that, how it might work. We want to get their feedback. They may have suggestions for us that we're not thinking about. So, I mean, we're trying to get as much public input as possible from all sides.
Great.
Oh, go ahead.
And then as far as, it sounded like we're going to have a registered list of muralists, and we would be adding on to that and expanding it all the time. So, if are these just people who have done murals here? Because it would be nice, if one of us sees a mural or some activity by some muralist, and this muralist looks very impressive, that we could add them to the list.
Yeah, absolutely. I know LA County and I think the city of West Hollywood have pre-qualified artist list, and I think they open them either annually or biannually. And artists apply from either locally or around the nation to be on the list. So absolutely, we could definitely add artists to the list.
So even if you're not a muralist yourself, like I could suggest, why don't you add this?
Sure,
Okay,
if they apply.
thanks.
I mean, the only thing would be, we want to make sure the artist is open to being added to the list.
Well, true, yeah, we don't put people on mailing lists unless they give
They
permission,
want to
you're
be
right.
on there.
have another question. What would the process of applying for a mural be? Would that be outlined, and who would review the murals?
Those are specifically in regard to an artist or a property owner. So for property owners, we're working with Ms. Odenkirk in the City Attorney's Office for policies and procedures that would have an application process through our permit portal. It would then come to the commission for approval, so there's processes in line for that. And then for the pre-qualified artist list, we would work with Beautify Earth and of course the commission to provide feedback on what an artist application would look like.
And the review process, and then who would pay for the murals? Would that come from?
It depends. I mean, if a building owner wants to put a mural on their wall, they would ideally choose an artist from the stable of artists. They would make a proposal. They would be paying for it. They would be responsible for maintaining it. If we choose to place a mural somewhere, and meaning this commission, and we wish to fund it, is it on a public wall? So we work through city price processes. If it's on a private wall, then we work through, other processes. But then it would be, obviously funded here. The ideal is to kind of democratize it so that people can choose to put a mural where they'd like to put a mural and work with the artist that they choose. But it is a pre-approved artist. It's not. Because some of the beyond the box artists are incredibly talented and we've seen amazing work. Others would even admit that that kind of scale is not their bailiwick. So, we want to have this pre-approved list that you would choose from to put the mural up.
So very project-based.
Yes.
One recommendation that I just had is to keep our PR firm involved in this process, because I assume there'll be a certain point where we'll want to really do a targeted launch of the mural program to the public and to business communities, et cetera. So having them kind of in the loop throughout the process, I think would be beneficial.
Absolutely. I agree. We can do that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all for your comments. Is that all? More?
Well, one more that-
Okay, Commissioner Vidor.
Commissioner Yang just made me think, is the PR firm now fully engaged, or where are we with that? Because I've been thinking about them a lot.
That's a great question. We are in the process with the ACE agency is reviewing the contract. We're almost in the final stages, and it's going to go to City Attorney's Office for final review, so we're almost there.
Well, that's good
I'm very
news.
excited to bring them on board and think that they can also help with the publicity of getting word out even of the meetings. So.
Well, that's good news. Okay. All right, then I think we're ready for a motion. And do you want to read the motion, Loretta?
Loretta read it.
Did she read it already?
Yeah.
It's been so
So we
long.
just need
Okay.
a motion to
All
move.
right.
Oh,
I have the motion then.
so moved.
Second that,
Thank you.
Okay, roll call, Vice Chair Tefenkian,
yes.
Commissioner Vidor,
Yes.
Commissioner Yang,
Yes.
and Chairperson Villar.
Yes.
Agenda item 6B, Adams Hill Arts Festival, programming and sponsorship opportunity. Motion approving 1, the funding of an events management company and artist stipends associated with the Adams Hill Arts Festival, and 2, the sponsorship of the Adams Hill Arts Festival in an amount not to exceed $3,000 from the 2023 to 2024 work plan.
So we do have a recusal. We're gonna, Commissioner Vidor is gonna excuse herself to the back room. We will come get her after the motion has been made. But we have invited Stephen Meek, who's the president of the Adams Hill Neighborhood Association, to invite him to share about this opportunity.
Good morning, and thank you for letting me speak. As she said, I'm the president of the Adams Hill Neighborhood Association, and I'm here to advocate and ask for your financial support. The AHNA has sponsored the Arts Festival in 2022. It was small, but very well appreciated and successful. Since becoming involved in my community and the city, it has been one of my main focuses to get the nonprofits within the community to work with the different departments within the city to help foster communication between the two and make Glendale better. This year, we want to hold the festival on Park Street next to the library connection that's there. We have done events there in the past, closing off that street. This will give us the opportunity to make the festival larger and to make it look more professional. We have many talented people within our community, my neighborhood and the larger area of Glendale. We want to focus on them and bring them into this festival. It'll be a cooperative event between our arts and culture, library arts and culture, and us. And we wish to show off those entertainments and hoping this will include our poet laureate. We're going to also be seeking sponsorship from Senator Anthony Portantino, who came to last year's event and thought it was wonderful and would like to help out also. We also have local businesses like Caffeine, Brand Associates, Forest Lawn that we're going to be asking them to help us too, all to help foster bringing the community together. And I guess that's all I need to say. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll let you debate it among yourselves. Thank you.
Are there any questions for Mr. Meek?
I'm just curious, you said last year's event was small. Do you have a plan in terms of getting the word out a little more broadly to the multiple communities?
Yeah, we have a committee that we have already formed, and we're going to be discussing our marketing for that. We do use Facebook, we used in all the different social medias, and the posters, we're going to be trying to do marketing that way. I'll be working with Library Arts and Culture because, especially since they have a PR firm coming up, that will help us market this too.
Right.
Madam Chair, I did have a question for Mr. Meek, if I may. I just was curious if you could expand a little bit on the event management company.
What I hope to do is find someone to, I want to call it a producer, to actually take the leadership in getting this done. And we have all volunteers helping that person. I don't know if it'll be a company itself or a person that will operate as a company.
Okay.
Director Schaefer, so also we do have 210 East Sound that we've worked with for the Brand Summer Music Series and the Jewel City Concert Series that can provide audio and stage for this particular opportunity. So that's an option that we can consider as well.
Okay. I just, typically within city government, if we're sponsoring specifically the event management company, which perhaps we're not, because you have other sponsors, we would have to do an open, call and just all kinds of things like that.
So far, it's all volunteer work.
Gotcha. And I had another question, but it's escaping me now, so thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds great.
You did mention that the Poet Laureate will be there, and I've seen Rafi's activities, how he engages before. Could you maybe tell us a couple of other activities that you're planning in the expansion in your vision?
I plan to have a stage set up, probably at this point in my mind, it's next to the library, facing uphill to where all the artists will be. And I want to get about 10 different entertainers.
Okay.
Probably most of them will be music, and I'd like to give an honorarium to them. Last year they did it for free. I'd like to give them something to thank them for helping the community. Part of our committee, we have Joelle Ryan, who will be searching for those entertainers and doing a call out to them.
Madam Chair, I did have another, I remember the question now.
Okay.
So you have no sponsors now, so if this were to pass with commission, we would be your first.
That is correct.
Okay. I would just ask that, because you may get huge sponsors coming online later, that as your inaugural sponsor, that we proudly place the logo of the Arts and Culture Commission, and as, we don't need to be the gold sponsor or anything like that, but I mean, it has occurred in the past and it's been rectified, so it's water under the bridge of, where we were an early sponsor, bigger sponsor, the event grew, bigger sponsors came up, and we slowly dropped down to the bottom. And so we would just want to make sure that the Arts and Culture Commission is, given their due. It's no cost to you
I
to
am with you on
give
that.
them.
What I would like, I don't know if you have a big banner poster type of thing that we could put out there, but as I said, my focus is to work nonprofits with the city. And I want to foster that as much as I possibly can, because I think it'll make Glendale a better place.
Well, and it happens that the Arts and Culture Commission logo is the city seal with arts and culture. So I think it would show it as a, it's the funding does flow through the city, so it would just show the city as a major sponsor of the event. And again, if we don't need to be heralded from the mountaintops or
Why not?
But
You
but
guys are doing great work.
we'll take anything we can get. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
Very exciting.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Mee.
Thank you very much.
Okay, then I think we can entertain the motion.
I'll make a motion as read.
And I'll second it.
Roll call, Vice Chair Tefankian, Commissioner Yank,
Yes.
and Chairperson Vyar.
Yes.
We'll pause just for a moment as we invite Commissioner Vidor back into the room. Do you want to read the next
Okay.
agenda item?
Agenda item 6C, Glendale International Film Festival Programming and Sponsorship Opportunity. Motion approving, 1, the funding of a proposal by Glendale Arts to provide arts programming associated with the Glendale International Film Festival, and 2, the sponsorship of the Glendale International Film Festival in an amount not to exceed $5,000 from the 2023 to 2024 work plan.
Thank you. We have Nina Crow here.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Chair Vyar, Commissioners of the Arts and Culture Commission, Director Schaefer, library staff, and other staff that are here. My name is Nina Crow. I'm the CEO of Glendale Arts, and I really appreciate you agendizing this wonderful event, the Glendale International Film Festival, and our request for support from the Commission on it. This is the 9th year of our film festival, and it will be held September 28th through October 5th. Excuse me. And it is, as I mentioned, in the 9th year, and it's really an opportunity for filmmakers from all stages of their career to present and submit their films for consideration for the festival. We do have a student film maker competition, and it goes to very professional, independent filmmakers. We also have a screenwriting competition section, which is very something that we like to toot our horn about, because not all film festivals have this opportunity. The festival itself covers 8 days of activities. We have an opening night, we have 3 days of screenings, and then it goes to an award ceremony. After that in-competition portion, we have what's called partner programming, and that's where we work with local organizations from Glendale as well as the greater Los Angeles area to provide other filming that is in collaboration with like-minded missions that we think that would help attract people to see the films as well as the Glendale community. Because really the film festival, our main audience is filmmakers, right? This is for filmmakers to show their film, to connect with film, to meet other screenwriters, composers, actors, directors. It is also then an opportunity for us to reach out into the local community to get people in seats. The films will be screened at the Laemmle Theater, and which we're super excited about. They're well recognized in the world of art house film institutions. And then we'll also have some activities just around the corner at our new home, which is the ACE 121 Gallery. So we'll be using the gallery as a space for our festival lounge, where filmmakers and audience members and sponsors and other guests can come and have a cup of coffee, later on have a glass of wine, meet up before the film, come afterwards. We'll also probably have some conversations. We can do seating up to 50 people. We can do a standing reception for up to 75. At the same time in the gallery, we'll also have an exhibit that pairs with the film festival nicely. So it'll be well-rounded with cinema at the theater, visual arts at the at the gallery, and probably some props and some other fun things for people to engage in a very warm and welcoming environment. We have been accepting submissions for the films for several months now. The portal is now closed. We received 125 submissions, which is up from last year. Last year, we screened 90 films over 3 days, and it averaged about anywhere from our short films, which are 5 minutes, up to our 2.5-hour feature films. And there were genres across the board: horror, comedy, the documentaries. It's endless, and it's really exciting on that closing night to award some of those incredible filmmakers that have presented their films. I think this slide just summarizes, that we're dedicated to uniting the world through this art form, which is a really lovely synergy of visual and performing arts in this world of film that we're in. This is just some statistics from last year. The 1,000 attendees are all unique because, say, a filmmaker came and saw 10 screenings. We only counted them once, although their economic activity in the city was those 10, went to lunch this day, went to dinner that day, but we did count everybody just once. The good news about our ability to collect data and our better counting this year is that we'll be doing all the ticketing ourselves this year. Last year, Lemily did it, and so some of that data was not able to be handed over to us. It is truly an international film festival with more than 20 countries represented last year. And all of the filmmakers did make an appearance last year and come and celebrate and meet other film. And I think some connections were made where they even have submitted their script to this year's film festival. So it's very exciting. Oh, this is just I had to throw this in, a little shot of our new home because I'm so proud. But this is our festival lounge. The screenings are all taking place at the Lemily Theater. And we just have an amazing group of supporting filmmakers who, some of them are on our screenwriters, our script reading panel this year, as well as our jury for the films. So the way that the films and the scripts are accepted into the competition is they're reviewed by our pre-qualified juries who score and rate and present us with their comments and feedback. So then we can then invite filmmakers and writers to participate in the film festival. So it was exciting that some of them reached out to us and said, hey, I want to participate this year. And so now, of course, there's no conflict. They didn't submit any pieces of work, but we're excited to have them participate in this way. So I am here today to request a $5,000 sponsorship. Last year, the commission supported the film festival with a $5,000 sponsorship, which went specifically towards our Women in Film Night, which was our closing program night. We screened 9 different shorts. We worked with Five Sisters Productions, who is a production company with 5 sisters, and they helped us put together these wonderful shorts. We had a great conversation afterwards, and we'll be doing something similar this year, which is only fitting as an organization that is female-led, as well as a festival that was founded by Velvet Roads. So we'll be doing something similar to that. We also have the Festival Lounge. If there's something specific that you feel you'd like to support, of course, you can also say, you know what, we just want the festival to be the best possible. This is unrestricted funds, but I know you have specific guidelines that you need to meet. And so that is the end of my presentation, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina. Anybody, Vice Chair Tufenkin, you have questions?
Very exciting. Thank you, Nina, for the presentation, and congratulations on your new home,
Thank
ACE
you.
121. I think that's going to be great, and I hope it really activate the space. I'm sure you will very, very well. And I am all for this 5,000, and I think it's going to be an exciting 9 days, and I hope that you have a lot of events at the space as well. And being close proximity to Lemley, I think it's very the synergy is great. So
Yes, thank you.
very exciting.
Thank
Thank you.
Commissioner Vidor?
Well, thank you, Nina. I went last year to the documentary evening with the Doctor's House documentary and to the Women's Film Festival, and they were both really outstanding. And I absolutely loved your venue, the Lemley. I think that's a wonderful venue for a film festival. And it was kind of crowded in the theaters, and the energy was fantastic there. And I think it's wonderful that you're in that art space over at ACE 121 as well. So the only question, I had a question for you and also one for Jennifer. You said there's a student film session, and you mentioned professionals. So students or professionals? Professional students or?
Professional students. So the film festival is for really filmmakers at all levels of their career. So by professionals, yes, you're absolutely right. They are working, this is their career. They may not have been paid or have the returns of someone that's been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years. That's the only differentiating.
Okay, so they're not in school per se. They're
right. But last year, to your point, we did have someone that had returned after a long career, was in a master's program, and she was close to 40, and she was in the student filmmaking competition. So if you're in school, you're an undergraduate, or you could be an MBA or MFA student as well, then you are considered a student.
okay. And then the question for Jennifer was, can we use the money, Nina mentioned guidelines, and we are not constricted in terms of what we would sponsor. We can either be specific or non-specific in our sponsorship, right?
The sponsorship is in alignment with the Urban Art Fund.
Okay. Is there a women's evening this time, or?
We are working on what exactly that would look like, but that is our intention.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Commissioner Yank?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this film festival. I think it sounds wonderful. As somebody who produces festivals and runs an art organization myself, I would just advocate to keep it unrestricted and trust the organization to put on a great show.
Thank you. And I'm with Commissioner Yank on that. I wholeheartedly support unrestricted funds, and especially since the entire endeavor is a very valid, part of our mission. And so, yeah. And thank you, Nina. The organizational skills it takes to put that together is very impressive.
And I know Director Schaefer did mention some, branding or promotional opportunities. And so, of course, we'll put your logo on our website, which will go live. We've revamped our website. It will go live next week. Also, at the beginning of every single block, which what we do with the films is we put them together in blocks of, say, an hour and a half or 2 hours. It's almost, it could be one feature film, it could be 3 short films, it could be a short film and a feature film. And before each of those blocks will be a thank you slide, so your logo will be on there, as well as a little trailer for the event. So there'll be branding opportunities and invitations to all of the screenings and the events.
If I may,
Yes.
Chair Byer, I felt we didn't utilize the gracious tickets as much as we could have last year. And so if there's any way that those could possibly go to students, and I use that term a little loosely, they may be high school students or female high school students, or, just I would like to see that, and then for them to know that this was sponsored by the commission, if that's possible. And and I did like last year that the commission, as a entire 100% female commission, that you sponsored the women's programming. But I think you will be our advocate for where's the best place for us to do, and share that with Jennifer. The other thing I would ask is if after the film festival and after you've recuperated, if you could, maybe say in December or something, come back to commission, present how it went, what happened, and also to put us, if you are planning to continue the film festival and would like sponsorship. So we're starting our budgeting process.
Okay.
We started in February.
Okay.
So any thing that anyone's looking for funding, it would be helpful to have that as we go into our budgeting process.
I think that's a great idea. And by December, we'll have the portal open for the 2024 Film Festival.
Right.
And it's the 10th year, so we're looking to do a little added something. So I'll definitely come back and present about this year and in appreciation of any support.
Right.
Yeah,
And,
thank
and
you.
mostly just so we can get it on the
get
radar
it on
and
the
have it
radar.
budgeted. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. I think Velvet would be so proud.
She would be
Yeah,
proud. She
yeah.
would be, yeah, yeah.
So are we ready then for a motion? Entertain a motion then? Yeah, okay, may I have a motion?
Okay, I guess I would move the motion.
Okay, second, please.
I'll second.
What is the motion? Is it for something specific or
Oh,
general?
you were
sponsor?
walking, I'm sorry, you were walking in as
Oh.
Loretta was reading the motion. I apologize.
Okay. Is it
Loretta, would you
general?
like to hear it again? It is general. Would you?
Okay, no, I don't.
Are you okay? Okay. All right, we have,
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call, Vice Chair Tefankian,
Yes.
Commissioner Vidor,
Yes.
Commissioner Yang,
Yes.
and Chairperson Byer.
yes. Thank you, Nina.
Thank you so much.
Motion
We
carries.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Agenda item 6D, ex officio student non-voting member of the Arts and Culture Commission Selection Committee. Motion selecting 2 commission members to serve on an ad hoc ex officio student non-voting member selection committee to conduct the screening and selection of qualified candidates for interviews.
Commissioners, we do have the opportunity to engage with 2 student ex officio members to join the commission. On March 7th of 2023, City Council approved a resolution to the Glendale Municipal Code 2.3610, amending the recruitment and selection process for appointment of individuals to boards and commissions. So part of that qualifications was that 1 student ex officio member must reside in the city of Glendale. One student ex officio member must attend a high school or higher education facility within the city of Glendale. A student ex officio member must have attained at least a junior standing in high school. And apologies for the typo, but the student ex officio member must have knowledge of arts and culture to be considered for the commission for a 1-year term on this commission. The term would be for 2 student ex officio members, one to start the term in August, and it would be for 1 year to end in July 31st of 2024. For the recruitment process, the applicant is required to have 2 letters of recommendation and a 200 to 500 word essay, and the application portal is still open to be considered for this opportunity. We do have a selection and screening process which we are recommending, which is to have you have an option of either having 2 members of this commission body to serve on a ex officio student selection committee student member selection committee. So 2 members of this body would be on that, or you can direct commission staff to screen and conduct interviews for qualified candidates and then bring the recommended candidates to you. So it's your decision on what you would prefer to do. And as I mentioned before, their term would begin in August. So that's what's before you.
Okay. Discussion? Vice Chair Tefankian?
I think it's a great idea to engage the younger community in our city. And if anyone is interested in arts and culture, I think it gives them a great opportunity to be on this commission. So yeah, I'm very for it, and I think that's a great idea. I don't think I would be able to be on the serving committee because I will be. This is for August, right?
The term would start in August, so hopefully we would interview candidates within the next month or so.
Shortly, yeah. So yeah.
And I should have spoken up. Our recommendation is that one of the commissioners be the commission chair and then another commissioner. So that would be our recommendation.
So yeah, my schedule will not permit. So
Thank you. Commissioner Vidor?
Oh, okay. So the 2 is, we're looking at 2 people at the same time
Correct.
serving. And the one who isn't, I don't know how many applicants you have or will have, but the one who isn't based in Glendale, are there any caveats around that? Like, obviously somebody who is going to have to commute, or, is there some limitation around that? Or is it just generally can be from anywhere?
I believe one student member has to live in the city of Glendale,
Yes,
and
right.
one has to attend high school or a higher education facility in Glendale.
Okay, so there's no limit to where the person can.
Correct. They just have to attend school.
And I would be perfectly, whatever is easier for you. If I'm perfectly happy to have the staff make the selection. So that's my opinion.
Thank you. And Commissioner Yang?
I just had a couple of logistical questions, just in terms of these student members, and given the timing of our commission meetings, what would we have to shift the timing of the commission meetings to accommodate their schedules?
The commission meetings are set, from my knowledge, and it would be the student requesting, if they're a GUSD student, would request from their principal to be excused for those 2 hours of time to come to the meeting.
Okay.
Or a student who's in higher education would ideally have a, class starting later in the day.
Gotcha. My other question was just around training and support, because I know sometimes these programs go into effect and, students may require a little extra training support, just understanding of the process in order to be effective ex officio members and feel like they can raise their voices and make them heard. So I guess that would just be a question if that's something that staff is willing to provide.
I think that's great feedback. I know that there are, 4 or 5 other commissions that are having student ex officio members. So I think sustainability already has 2 members. I think Commission on the Status of Women might have 2 members already, but we can definitely ask staff if that's something that we can support in consideration for that.
Yeah, I think we can support that. So this is, those commissions already do have student members. They're adding them to a handful of other commissions. So the presumption would be there would be a certain amount of training from the city. But we would fill in any gaps in that training, and if there was no city training, we would provide that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking especially in regards to our diversity and equity plan, and looking for, if it's a diverse candidates that may not have interfaced with city government at all, it might be really helpful to make sure that they have that foundation.
I think a lot of the training just will come on the job. It'll be just kind of watching the process, since they're ex officio, they won't be voting, but it's a learning, it will be a learning experience for them, and introduction to all those things, the city government included. And I would be happy to join the staff on the selection committee.
Is there another commissioner that wishes to join the committee, or we can move forward with staff choosing and selecting, and then Chairperson Fire, I believe, can attend the interviews? It depends on what the commission prefers.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in the same boat as Vice Chair Tufankian, where I'm going out of town shortly, so I don't think I'll be able to be very available.
So I think we would just have to adjust the motion to have, to direct staff to do the selection of qualified candidates, and then we can include the chairperson in the interview selection process.
Yeah, we in consultation with the chair.
All right, would you like that, do we need to have that revised, read in the revised form, or can we just move it?
Mr. Lightenberg, is that sufficient? Or should we?
Let me, thank you. Let me see if I've got it clear, and then I'll read it out. This is going to be moved by Commissioner, seconded by Commissioner, that the Arts and Culture Commission hereby directs staff to interview and select potential candidates, student candidates, ex officio student candidates, and then the rest of the current motion as already read, to conduct the screening and selection of qualified candidates, et cetera.
In consultation with the chair.
In consult with the chair.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Roll call, Vice Chair Tufankian,
Yes.
Commissioner Vidor,
Yes.
Commissioner Yang,
Yes.
and Chairperson Viar.
Yes.
Agenda item 7, discussion items and reports, 2023 to 2024 work plan progress updates.
Commissioners, we do have a few updates to our 2023-24 work plan progress report. As we mentioned before with the mural ordinance, we're still due diligently working on the mural ordinance and ideally going to be working with Beautify Earth very soon to host a community input meeting. So that is on the docket. In regard to creative crosswalks, we have a very exciting update. We have been working with Public Works to install creative crosswalks at the city. I believe, thank you, Commissioner Yank was on this committee to review proposals. The Public Works Department did install 2 creative crosswalks. The first on the screen is at Broadway and Galleria Way, which is Jules City Wug by R.P. Neshak Bagdarian. And the next one is Broadway and Columbus, Chemical Stain by Antonio Pineda. So we're very excited. They came out very beautiful. We highly encourage, the commission and everyone to walk the crosswalk and take photos and selfies and all that fun stuff. Not in the crosswalk, but as you're walking through, enjoy your walk across. We're also working on the Adams Square project. We're working with Keith & Co. for their proposal entitled Where We Meet. This is the final design that's been approved by Public Works at the intersection of Adams Street and Palmer Avenue. There are 5 creative crosswalks and 3 bulb out areas that you'll see. The construction bid, so the company that's going to be doing the actual work on the street, is going in fall of 2023. And ideally, the creative crosswalks will be installed in spring or summer of 2024. So we're looking forward to that. The next item that we have as a partnership with Creative Crosswalks is with Public Works is the La Crescenta Rehabilitation Project. So there are 2 intersections on La Crescenta Avenue, the first on La Crescenta Avenue and Shirley Jean Avenue. This again was a proposal that was reviewed by the committee. This is a proposal called Flowers by Jade Bell. We felt like this would be very site specific because there literally is a nursery across the street. So I think they'll enjoy the mural. And these are 2 crosswalks that are going to be located at this intersection. And then the next one is Vision Pop by Jason Chang, 2 crosswalks on La Crescenta Avenue and Shirley Jean Avenue that really complemented the prior one. So they'll be on that same street. The next project that we're potentially going to be working with Public Works is on Artsock Avenue for the Arts and Entertainment District. We're very interested in, as if folks don't know, the Artsock Street is a 2-block radius on Artsock between Harvard Street and Wilson. We're proposing approximately 7 to 9 crosswalks, so it'll be a really great project to work on. Ideally, we're hoping to release a site-specific RFP for Artsock and the Creative Crosswalk sometime in the summer of this year. We'll host a review selection committee again to review proposals, and then ideally construction would occur in spring of 2024, and ideally crosswalks would be installed in spring or summer of 2025, which is the anticipated start date. Any questions before I move on about the crosswalks?
I was just curious, given now that some have been produced and look beautiful and incredible, if that RFP, like the color scheme kind of question, is if that's opened up a little bit more?
It has, as with the Keith & Co. and the Adams Square project, are allowing for more vibrant colors. I think still the recommendation is to try and stay within the earth tones, but I think the project in Adams Square will be beautiful and with vibrant colors.
Great.
Any other questions, comments? No? Okay. Another project that we worked and partnered with the Economic Development Department was GUSD had donated 2 pianos to Economic Development, which are hoping to be in the public right-of-way so that the public can enjoy them. We did commission 2 artists to paint murals on the pianos, and as you see on the screen, the first is by Jerilyn Guerrero, who on to the left, and Aldo Chacon, who to the right. Those pianos are set to be relocated to their final destinations sometime by the end of July. So one will go in the Central Park Paseo near Mona, and then the other one will be located on the Artsock Paseo. So those are the work plan updates.
Oh, thank you. Exciting.
Wonderful.
Gorgeous. Yes. Okay.
Agenda item 8, commission and staff comments.
Okay. Start with Vice Chair Tepenkian. Anything?
Just a big thank you to everyone. It's very exciting. A lot of great things happening in Glendale.
And Commissioner Benor?
Yes, thank you all very much for all the incredible amount of work that's been done and how far things have gone. And I recently, as a Glendale Historical Society member, had an opportunity to take a group on a tour a bus tour looking at certain architecture, and these people were mostly from New York, but some of them were from other places. And people were just going nuts over Glendale. Like, people were saying, they were going all over LA on their tour to look at architecture. And they said, we just can't believe how artistic and cultural Glendale is. What a great city. And I think Pasadena had tried to usurp our reputation and lure these folks in for dinner and, oh, you know, architecture, we're it. But they were like, no, Glendale's really on fire. So that was just so exciting to see that from a bunch of people from somewhere else, having that first impression. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Yang?
Yeah, just a great thank you to everyone. I really enjoyed being greeted by the big banner with all of the concert series on it, walking in from the parking structure. And so it just, it just displays how much we're doing and how much excitement is kind of bubbling around arts and culture here. I also really enjoyed having Nina and Stephen here and just seeing all of the members of the artistic community that are producing these wonderful events for our communities. So thank you.
And as always, thank you to the staff. And I visited the crosswalks, and those are, I'm looking forward to the two out in the Spar Heights area or Montrose area. And I also attended the Adams Square, the opening, the reception at the gas station, and it was 95 degrees in the shade, but Mr. Meek was handing out water, and so there weren't a lot of people there. Senator Portantino was there, and I really enjoyed talking with Rafaela, the artist, and yeah, just thanks again for everything that's going on. It's wonderful. Anything else?
I did want to quickly say a shout out to our Public Works Department for our partnership with the Creative Crosswalks. So thank you to Sarkis Oganesian, Victoria Pakanyan, Pastor Casanova, Armin Avazian, and Mark David for all their great work in our partnership with them.
Oh, very good, yes. Yeah, good collaboration.
Agreed.
And I would just like to share that, we are having active conversations with the Parks Department just because we have lots of projects that impact them. So we have a meeting later this afternoon. So we're staying in constant communication with them and appreciate all of, their teamwork and partnership on all that we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Schaefer. Okay.
Agenda item 9, adjournment.
All right, we are adjourned.